Here's the exact funnel that Sam Millsap is using to generate $200,000 per month for his business. And we've got his entire funnel right here, going over literally every part of his funnel. And I've broken it down all for you guys. So let's get right into it. First, let's take a look at how Sam is generating traffic for his business. Because if you do not have traffic to your business, to your offer, and to your product, you are simply not going to make money, right? So traffic is very, very important, and you need to make sure there are eyeballs and there are people seeing your offer and seeing your product. So Sam mainly only uses Instagram for his business. He has a YouTube channel, but isn't very consistent with it, doesn't really post a lot. It has been like 5 months since he last posted on it. So he mainly just uses Instagram, where he is very, very active. He posts like 4 or 5 videos a day, every single day, right? So he's very active on there. He posts stories, and as you can see here, he's got about 300, almost 400,000 followers, right? So he's been doing very, very well, and because of that, his business is also doing great. Now, the type of content Sam posts is really just lifestyle content and then talking head videos, right? So lifestyle content, basically like showing off his cars, just sometimes memes, just showing off his lifestyle. That's all he does. And then he posts also like talking head videos right here. That is what he mostly does, right? And that's why he's able to post so much content. And why this works so well, one, because of authenticity, right? So he's just picking up a camera and then talking to people and just posting. There's no fancy editing, no retention editing, none of that, right? Because to be honest with you guys, people are tired of seeing all those edited content, right? So they don't want to see that. And this has been working very well because people can, it's very authentic. So people will watch it. And next, he posts mostly just niche-based videos. On these talking head videos, all he does is post niche-based content. So what is niche-based content? So Sam basically helps online coaches scale money. So in these talking head videos, all he does is talk directly to only online coaches, right? So because of that, 90% of the people that watch those videos will be online coaches. So they'll check out Sam's profile and then ultimately sign up and work with him, right? So that is very, very important. Even if you're running a business, if you're not posting niche-based content, what are you doing? You won't really get any clients, because the goal with running an online business and building a personal brand around it is not to go viral. You just have to attract the right type of people, and Sam has been doing it consistently over and over again, right? So that's why his business has been doing well. And next is relatability. People all relate to Sam because Sam was just some kid who had no direction in life, and then he started fitness coaching, and then he started to help coaches to make money and scale their business, right? So people really relate with Sam, and these are like the main primary reasons on why he's been doing so well, and on why these type of videos, which are not supposed to go viral, he just picks up a phone, records it, and then posts it, right? No editing, none of that. And these are starting to do well now because they relate with it, it's authentic, and it's niche based content. So that's all Sam does on his Instagram to generate leads for him. And then he also shows a lot of social proof on his stories, right? A lot of testimonials, results, and all that. He shows a lot just so the prospect who's watching his content, watching his videos, know that, okay, whatever this guy's done, this guy's actually legit, and he actually owns something that will make me money, right? When an online coach is watching his stories, they would feel inspired and motivated to work with him, right? And then he also does these story sequences here in a while. So sometimes he does these too. And if you're not leveraging story sequence, if you've got a pretty good audience, then you're missing out on a lot of money, because story sequences will really, really help you to book a ton of calls like this. You can book like 10 calls overnight, right? So this is how his story sequences goes, and most people who have a successful story sequence, this is exactly like the framework. So if you have a big audience, definitely leverage this. So First is you post a story having a hook. So hook is basically like you have a few words here and then you have an arrow pointing to the next story. So that's basically like a hook, right? That's the first story. So next story should be actually the story that we were going to post. So you post whatever, like opening up a few spots, blah 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 for this offer, whatever, right? So you basically tell about what you're going to do, opening up a few spots for my program, etc., etc. You get the idea. Next is showing social proof, right? You show results, the results that whatever you're selling, whatever your product has got for past clients. You show testimonials, all that stuff. And then last is CTA. So if you want something similar to this, if you want results similar to this, and you want an extra whatever, right? Whatever your offer is, you say that, then click the link below and sign up. Or that's based on whatever CTS you're doing. You can either give a link and click the link, or you can say DM me this word and I'll send it to you, whatever, right? Whatever you want to do, you have that CTA. So this is how a story sequence goes. Now most people, what they do is, they just post like 4 stories in the same day, right? That works. But to even get better results, what I've seen work better is like you post whatever, right? These 2 stories, you don't post these 2 stories at first, right? What you do is you first post like lifestyle a lot. So that these story sequence usually go for up to like 5 days. So the first day you post lifestyle content, and then from the second, the third, you post just proof. You're fully showing proof for 2 continuous days. And then the fourth and fifth day, you're having your CTAs in, right? This is a long process, but this is also something that works. But you can do this too. If you got a huge audience, this works fine. But if you got a pretty small audience of maybe 10K to 15K, then you can do that, which is pretty long, right? So if you need any help with creating story sequences, or if you have any doubts, go ahead and DM me on my Instagram. I'll give a link in the description, and I'd be happy to help you guys out for free, of course. So that is basically like the whole traffic that Sam gets, right? This is how he gets his traffic, and this is how he generates leads. Now moving on to generating leads and booking in calls. So what he does is Sam pushes his link right here. So he's got his free training on his bio. So this is what he pushes even on his videos. He promotes this on his stories. He promotes this link right to this free training. So once the prospect clicks on this free training, this is what they see. So how I turned $47 into a consistent 400K per month as an online coach in my first 2 years. No massive following or complicated system needed, right? So this is exactly like he got his CTA in here, right? How he did stuff. He got his CTA, and then he's got his unique mechanism right here, right? So no massive following or complicated system needed. So most coaches, they don't have a massive following. So when they see this, they relate with this, and they, it attracts them to his product better, right? So, and even this, how I turned $47 into a consistent 400K per month as an online coach. When coaches see this, they'd be curious and surprised how he was able to turn just $47 into consistent 400K months. So they definitely will click and watch that video, right? That's what you have to do, guys. You have to spark curiosity on these CTAs and headings you have on your landing page. You have to spark curiosity. So once the prospect watches this, they have a decision to apply for limitless coaching, which is basically his program. But what Sam doesn't do is he does not have an opt-in, which I would have done differently. He could have kept an opt-in. Basically, for the prospect to watch the video, they should fill out a form which basically asks them for their name, email, and phone number, so he can follow up with those prospects who watch the videos. But Sam hasn't done that, but he just kept the video for free and has a link to apply for his coaching. So below that, he's got these testimonials, results, all that he's got for his client, how Max Hagen collected 13K in 2 weeks after joining Limitless, which is a program. So he shows all these results, these amazing results he's got for his clients. And that's basically it, right? It's a simple landing page, nothing too complex, and it works, guys. Simple. You don't really need anything complex or a big website. A simple landing page with a video, a good hook, and results. That's perfect for you, right? And that's all that matters. So once prospects click on apply for Limitless coaching, if they want to work together after watching the video, they go through this form that Sam asks them to fill out, right? So it basically makes sure it qualifies the prospect, find out what the problems are and all that stuff. So what is your primary long-term goal with coaching? So they click any one of this. That's the first question. And then he asks what best explains your current situation. So he's finding out where the prospect is with their current business. And with the first question, he's finding out what their goal is, right? So he does this and they choose whatever. Next is he just asks them for an email and then phone number, name. You guys get the idea, right? And then their Instagram username. That's it. After they do that, they can just directly book in a call. Simple as that, guys. So that is his whole form. Now, what he could have done differently, as I said earlier, is just watch the video. He could have collected their name, email, and phone number, because if he did that, then he could have, reached out to everybody who has, watched the video, because they've shown an interest. So he could have either called them or ran them through an email list, and he could have got a lot more calls booked if he did that. But this is what he did, and this is what he did, and to be honest, it works pretty well. So this is his entire form, and then you have his call book. Like, this is the entire funnel he uses to get calls, right? He goes from content, he promotes this free training, prospect clicks on it, watches the video, likes it, is interested, so they apply to his coaching, and then he fills out this whole form. On that form, they fill out everything. So Sam, by the end of the form, he knows where the prospect is right now, what they're struggling with, what their goals are, and all that stuff. So he gets that form filled and then books in a call. Simple as that. Now let's get into conversion. How Sam actually converts these calls, because this is also very, very important part of the funnel. If you don't dial in on this, you will be missing out a lot of leads and a lot of money. So once he gets a call booked, there will be a confirmation sent to the prospect via email, right? So prospect will receive the confirmation, so they confirm the call that they will be showing up. Next, the prospect gets run through a follow-up system. So the prospect gets followed up by a setter or via email 2 days before the call, right? So they get reminded 2 days before, and then another reminder 24 hours before the call. This will all be by Sam's team, where he has a setup placed, right? So 24 hours before, and then another reminder 6 hours before, another one 1 hour before, and a reminder 10 minutes before, and then a link to call. So you see how many reminders he does in his system. There's one right here, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4, there's 5. So 5 total reminders, right, before the end, or before the call, before the actual link to the call. So he does 5 reminders, and this will definitely help you increase your retention rate. I mean, even my clients that I had a follow-up system where we did actually 5 or 6, I think 6 reminders before the call. So they had an average of 80% show-up rate. So that is very, very, very good. So, and the close percentage was also insane. They had a close rate of around, I'm not sure, 50 to 60%. So that is absolutely mind-blowing. So with that out of the way, he books in, or he sends the link to the call, and then if it is a no-show, he then again runs them to the follow-up system, right? He follows up continuously with them via email. They dial in and call them, and he also got their Instagram, so he follows up on Instagram too. So he's hitting them on all these platforms, so they will respond one way or another, right? And if he showed up, he closed them, because he's watched all these videos. He already knows Sam. He already trusts Sam. So most of the prospects will close. If the prospect did not close, then they'll get further nurtured through assets and then email list, because Sam's got the email list. So he constantly gives them value, provides them with assets through email. And that way he makes sure that no leads are missed out on, and every lead is correctly followed up with So he either gets a no or a yes for an answer and never takes ghosting as an answer, right? And that is something that you guys all should do in your business. This conversion and follow-up system is something that I see so many people now implementing, and they are just missing out on a lot of money. So you guys should definitely do this. And that is basically like the whole funnel of Sam, and he's been making 6 figures per month. Yeah, it's been working really, really well for him. And if you guys want a system like this or system similar to this, feel free to check the description and book in a free strategy call where we can go ahead and lay out a complete roadmap completely designed for you. So if you're a coach or run an agency or a consultant, then book a free strategy call. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys soon, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Take care.